For me, Renata herself is a marvelous and interesting event, and I wanted to know so many more stories about her that connect her as well to our Clefs society. For that reason, we have asked her to tell us a history or event related with our 7 values to inspire us as young concierges to strive for excellence. Let yourself be embraced by Renata's experience.
Hi, good evening. How are you, Flora?
I'm perfect. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have you. Such an honor for me to make this interview to you today. Thank you so much for your time. It's very important to me, and I'm sure for all the candidates and for all the concierges around the world.
I want to thank you for the invitation. For me, it's truly an honor to be part of this amazing project and to be here, like giving this interview for you. Thank you so very much.
As you know, I thought that we could explore together the values, the 7 principles of the Clefs, and perhaps to explain, or if you want to tell us a little story about each one of them, or how do you have your own interpretation of these amazing phrases, these amazing principles. And of course, I would like to start by the first one, our motto, perhaps the most important one: in service through friendship.
This is one of my favorites, and I love this value so much. And I think it's how everything started. So it's not only part of our history, but also part of our daily life. And what I think it's more one of the most beautiful things about our profession is that even if we work in competitor hotels, in the concierge position, there is no competition. We are always together to collaborate with each other, like sharing the good and the bad things. So I think this is amazing. And I have a very small story that happened with me last year, actually. It was my cousin. He was traveling to London. And my aunt, she called me desperate. She said he forgot his medication at home and he has a heart disease. And she said, I need to send this medication to London, but it was in the middle of the Easter holiday. I said, forget it. It's not going to arrive on time and it's going to cost you a fortune. Give me 5 minutes. And then I called one of my friends in London, of course, a Clefs member. And I told him, I said, listen, my cousin is arriving in London tomorrow and he needs a medication for his heart. I saw that you have this in UK, but you need a prescription. And how can he do it? And then he said, give me 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, he called me and he said, tell your cousin to go to this drugstore and look for this person. He's going to have the prescription and he's going to also have the medication there. So it was like everything solved in 10 minutes. And this is how it happens with our guests. It's always like so fast, and in a way or another, we save lives.
And I'm sure that many times our colleagues from São Paulo, but even from another cities, always call you saying, oh, do you know this provider? What do you think? How do you feel about it? Should I trust them? So it could be also very useful in these situations.
Always. I remember also another time, a guest of mine, they were in Doha for vacation, and they were talking to the head concierge in their hotel. And they said, and then the head concierge said, I have a very good friend of mine. She's from São Paulo, because they are from my city. And then they said, oh, really? Who is she? And then he said, oh, it's Renata from Intercontinental. And then they said, no way. And then they called me and they did like a FaceTime. Like, it's a small world. Like,
it's a small world. It's true.
Always connected. Always, always.
The second value is perhaps a little bit more, I would say, easy to follow. The guest comes first. What do you think about it?
The guest literally always comes first, and it's hard to think about one situation because I think we could spend hours and hours talking about all the times that we made like memorable experiences to our guests. I remember one that was really very special. It was during the pandemic. I had a couple from United States. They were on vacation and they said, everywhere we go in the world, we want to do some charity. I said, all right, that's nice. And they said, but we want to do charity with kids. I said, okay. And the big challenge was to find a charity that was open to host people from outside in the middle of the pandemic. And then I found it one. Yes, because they were with so many restrictions, and then they said, we want to buy some toys and some candies to take to the kids. And then the charity just said, all right, just not too much sugar because they are kids and it's not so healthy and blah, blah, blah. And then they went, and we have bikes at Interconti here in São Paulo that we lend to our guests. And then they went like biking onto the charity with like the backpack full of like balls and dolls to the kids. And I start getting nervous because they never come back. And here we have the language barrier. So I said, all right, they don't speak Portuguese. Probably in the church, they don't speak English. And then when they come, they came, I think after like 4 or 5 hours, they said, oh my goodness, where have you been? And then they said, having the most amazing time of our lives with the kids. And we teach them how to count the numbers in English. And they were so happy. And we could feel the happiness. And they show pictures and videos with the kids, with the toys and everything. So it was one like very special among
and
others.
Especially in a very tough time, like it was the pandemic, you had to put a lot of efforts on the personal level as well to accomplish that, because of course all of us remember how difficult it was just a normal life, even more these little special details and special things that of course they are very important, but they were not priority at the time for the government. So I'm so glad that finally everything worked out, and you gave them a lifetime experience that they will remember forever. Well, the third one, I think it's my favorite, in fact, and I think it's the one that represents me the better. So if I had to choose a quality as a concierge, the network would be my value. I think it's the value that I like the most because it represents me the best as well. What can you say about it?
I think the network is our most precious tool. Nothing is so important as our network. And that's what I always tell everybody from the team, especially the junior concierge. I said, forget about the idea of knowing everything. We will never know everything, but we need to know who we're going to ask help. There will always be someone that will be able to find us a way, or like to give us how to help the guest. So this is the most important thing. And when I say network, it's not only in the hotel industry, but all over, because you never know what the guest is going to ask for us.
I had a head concierge in the past, and he always said, every time somebody is introduced to you, you always keep his number. One day, one way or another, you will need his number, and you will need to know this person. And now that I follow that advice, and now I can see that he was always right. Sometimes I have, even now, we prepared a little event in Porto to meet the Cledor in there. And I contact a man, a photographer that I had met 2 years ago. I needed his services in Porto, so I called him and said, look, I know that we don't know you. I had feedback about you, so I was wondering if you could do a little service for me, for my guests. Of course, I paid him. And 2 years after, I called him, say, look, I'm going to Porto. I would like to meet you. Are you able to come and visit us at the meeting, in Cledor meeting, perhaps taking some some pictures of us, and he came, and we were really happy to know each other. And this was not possible if I didn't have kept his number from 2 years ago. And network is so values, yes.
I think it's the key thing, and we always need to keep it. I do the same, and we never know when we will need it.
True.
So it's like, it's precious. It's our tool.
Correct. I agree with you. The other one seems also, of course, it makes all the sense, is integrity and respect. How do you use these characteristics in your daily life?
I think this is just with integrity and respect, we're gonna have a very good network. So I think this is important to always respect the partners, the guests, the colleagues, everybody. I have seen, unfortunately, in my life, a few people saying, being rude with the partners. And this is really very sad, because you will always need your partners. I will never forget it. This happened once. I was talking to one of our drivers. He was serving a very important guest for us, super VIP. And then he came to me and he had some questions, which is quite normal. And then I answered him. I said, "Oh, right, no, this is this and that. This is the flight details." He was just reconfirming the information. And then he said to me, "Oh, thank you so much for being so friendly and answering my questions." I said, "I'm here to help you. You are helping my guests, and we need to help each other." And he said, "Yes, because in other hotels, I'm afraid to say, your colleagues, they are not so polite as you are." And this is so hard to hear that. It's not a way it should be. We always should be respectful and keep the integrity, and also be mindful about the other. We cannot do our jobs alone, so we will always need help. So this is super important.
And also the fact that the way you treat your partners, or the way you treat your equals, or even the people below you, the staff line, it means a lot about you as well. And it says a lot about the way you see the world and the way you treat other people in general. So it's not nice if you treat a guest or a client just because he's very rich or very important, but then you don't know how to behave with other people from your level, from your status, from your own for your workplace. So it's definitely something very, very important, and we should never forget about it.
And they feel it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure. Even they are always paying attention to the surroundings. Even if we don't notice, they know. It's true. So another value that we can never miss is strive for excellence. That represents all the hospitality, especially in the top luxury service. But in fact, the excellence means so many things in so many ways. How do you live with it day by day?
Yes, I love this value too, and it's another one that has so many things that comes to my mind. But one that I really like it is we had a very regular guest, and he comes to the hotel for many years with his children, and now the children, they are teenagers. But once they were doing one Europe tour, including they went to Portugal. It was when they were in Portugal, France, Italy, so many countries. And then what I did to the kids, I wrote them a letter to each hotel that they were staying in, saying a few words in the local languages, like in Italian, in French. And every hotel that they arrived with the kids, there was a small letter for me. And again, this was with the help with the concierge friend, so it's everything, the network again. And then on the last hotel, they called me. They did a FaceTime, sending a video, because the kids want to talk to me and to say thank you for all the letters that they got from me in each hotel that they were. And that was so cute, and it was so nice to see their happiness, because they were in amazing places where they could have everything. But what was precious for them, it was to arrive in the hotel and have a letter from their concierge in Sao Paulo. So like, again, sometimes it's not about like having the most expensive thing inside the hotel room, but just like the small touches. And they were like so happy, the little kids, and they were like, "Oh, Renata, thank you so much. We love your letter. Like every hotel we were expecting to have a new one, and there was always a letter from you." So this was like very, very special, like with those kids that now are teenagers.
I absolutely love that story. I love postcards and I love letters. So I'm sure that they will remember this forever and they will always follow you wherever you are going, because you create such a great energy with them, such a great relationship. And that's pretty much what we keep from the future. And in fact, this story has combined all the values, in fact, in the same one, right? And it's a great story. So thank you so much for sharing. The other one, and I think we are quite similar in this point. We are very expressive, but sometimes we need discretion. How it is in your work? How do you deal with this?
100%. There is like, we are there like to, that's what I tell my guests. We are here to preserve and to protect you. And I'm not talking only about celebrities or like politicians. For regular guests, if they said, "All right, can you help me? I have a hard situation. I need to be discreet." We are there to help you, no matter. I tell them like, we're not here to judge. We're not here to do anything. We're here to protect you and to keep your privacy. So count on us. We used to say here in Brazil that we have like the monkeys. I don't know if you have this in Portugal, that the monkeys, they don't see, they don't hear, they talk.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my guests, and they start laughing, and that's how it should be, like always.
There's any story that you remember about keeping your discretion? There's one in particular that I had in my previous hotel. It was a very important guest as well. And he used to have lovers coming to the hotel, and we were very used to it. And we knew how to respect his little secrets. And we always played along, of course, as we should. But one day, his wife came as a surprise. So she just called her from the airport saying, "Look, I just arrived to the airport. I'm in the taxi and I'm on my way to the hotel." And he had all the other stuff from another woman in his bedroom. So he called us and he's saying, "Look, come immediately to my room, take everything that you might, take the sheets and make the bed new again because of the air that might have been left in there." And we had like 10, because as you know, the airport is very close by from the city center here in Lisbon. So we had about 10 minutes to make sure we would play along and we would be as discreet as possible. And this is a story that I remember about this value. Yes. And I'm sure you have many similar.
I have many similar. I remember once I was working at a hotel, and I guess he called and he said, "I need to change my room." I said, "All right, what happened?" Because we always need to know what's going on, because if it is a problem, we don't want to put him in the room that has the same issue. And then he said, "Do you want to know the truth?" And I told him, "Yes, we are always here for the truth." And he started laughing. And then he said, I'm with a woman here, but my wife is coming. It's very similar, and it's a surprise for me. And I need to be in a very clean and very organized room where nothing has happened. I said, "I got it." And then he said, "And can you get me a flower bouquet in like half an hour?" I said, "Yes, I can. No worries. I'm gonna get you another room. Everything will be fine." And it's like, again, we are not there to judge, but to help them and to protect them.
Yes, correct. And then the last one here, I really want your feedback on it. It's lead by example. You are a leader in so many things. You are a leader in your daily work at Intercontinental, but also you are a leader in American Zone. How do you deal with it, and how do you feel about it?
Um, it's so nice to hear this, and like for like when I started, I never expected one day I would be like an example. And for me, it's truly an honor to inspire the others.
You have
Uh,
inspired me since the first time I read about you, and I'm so happy.
it's really very an honor, but it's also a responsibility because we need to make sure like we're doing the right thing always because we want to always give good examples. So the thing that I always like to say is always to be humble and to be nice, to be patient, because like that's what I think. I was like in the young generation shoes a few years ago, so and I had people that inspired me, and now for me it's an honor to be inspiring the others. I remember when we were in the Istanbul Congress, a lady from Germany, she came to me and she said, "Oh, in the last night, she said, we didn't have the time to meet, but I want to introduce you myself." And I said, "Oh, it's an honor to meet you." And then she said to me, "You are an inspiration to me." And I told her, I said, for me, like I was so happy to hear that because I told her, I said, "Your past president was an inspiration for me. And now for me, it's an honor to be an inspiration for you." So it's everything like a
It's a
circle.
circle, yeah. The first time I read about you, I wrote you a message on LinkedIn as well, saying that I was really inspired by you, and I wanted to meet you, and I really want to meet you in person in April, and I'm looking forward to it, because I really feel that you have so much to give to the world as a young, but as a woman as well. And I feel that you are representing all of us, all the young women that always dreamed about achieving something wonderful, something marvelous, and you did it. So thank you for showing us the way. Thank you for making
Thank
us
you.
believe. You are almost our Barbie girl, you know, showing us that everything is possible, and that's it's truly an inspiration.
Thank you so much. Again, it's an honor. I was very happy when you reached out to me to be part of this project because I know how important it is for you. It's your life, it's your career, and among so many people, it is an honor to be chosen.
My pleasure, Renata. Thank you so much for your time. Well, and once again, looking forward for meeting you in Bali.
Vale. Thank you. Bye.